Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's coming to you on the 6th of June, 21. Time on deck, 23:07 hours Central Daylight Time. Did you realize that it is said now that there are over 3,000 biolabs in around the world in which very deadly viruses are being developed, kept, stored, that could easily escape into the world? I mean, 3,000 labs with deadly viruses that could escape into the world today, similar to the bug going around today. What is going on? What can be done? What should you do? I'll bring this to you in the eyes wide open and head on a swivel series of news that I keep bringing to you, because I'm trying to make sure that you're prepared. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's the key to not being scared, being prepared. And so, guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, bang the notification bell, and click all, because I will be bringing you more news along these lines, what's going on in the world. But I also bring you stories, and I tell you how to grow your own food, how to garden, how to raise worms, how to raise microgreens even. I give a lot of ideas to you on a lot of these things, how to eat free from the weeds and the trees that are out in the forest. So can't beat that. I also had to do videos and going to big box stores. But one of the best ways that you can prep to ensure that you have the food that you and your family need for a long time is to buy this special freeze-dried food. This stuff is good food. This is a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can get 3 meals a day, 2,000 calories that last over 25 years. Just go to prepwithgreg.com. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, you get $300, $300 off of a 3-month supply. Now that's hard to beat. If you can't do a 3-month supply, even a 4-week supply, you can save $50. You get 2 of these for 4 weeks. The 3-month supply, you get 6 of them. These buckets, it's got great food in them, my friends. This is stuff at the cellular level, it's the same as regular food you eat, because the way it's not dehydrated, it's freeze dried. The way they do it, it maintains the cellular structures. When it's rehydrated, it's just like it was before they dehydrate it. It's real food. It's not mush, okay? And it's not MREs. This food tastes good and lasts a long time. Go to prepwithgreg.com. And there's all kind of other prepping supplies there too. All you got to do is click on the My Patriot Supply logo and go in and find all kind of prepping supplies. All right, that said, I've told you these things before. You've heard me talk about biolabs and other videos. I've talked about such things, and I've said they exist in countries, almost every country in the world, biolabs that develop viruses you should be concerned about. So I'm not kidding. So one of the experts, Hamish D. Brenton Gordon, a chemical weapons expert, told the Sky News of Australia that there are over 3,000 labs across the world in which there's a risk of these deadly diseases, like the last bug that went around causing the current pandemic, to escape. He further went on and explained a lot needs to be done to tackle these leaks. I mean, some of these labs, I mean, the lab in Wuhan is a level 4 lab. There's like maybe 50 of them that are level 4. Most of these are like level 3 and less, yet they have very deadly viruses there. So he went on to explain, Mr. Gordon, how these labs are completely unregulated and in more cases not completely unregulated. And he says this calls for tighter policing. And he also explained that some of these are in states where you might expect there to be bad actors who may not have the best intentions in mind. And at least it may be sloppy, allowing the leak of dangerous viruses or pathogens into the world today, causing further and far greater devastation than what we've witnessed so far. That is the risk. So he goes on to explain, you know, that, hey, like he said, there's 50 of the Wuhan level labs. But hey, we know that even tightest labs have had their leaks, the best of the best. Some of the US level 4 labs actually shipped a virus accidentally, the wrong virus, very deadly virus. Fortunately, nothing happened. Yikes. So, and he went on to elaborate that there are over 1 million scientists working in these various labs. 1 million. Now, you think everybody of 1 million is going to be totally honest and worthy and trustworthy to develop these kind of things? Out of this 1 million, there's not somebody that couldn't be gotten to by somebody that might not be disaffected, somebody who might not, you know, just want to take out whatever on the world. How about this? I'm going to show you. I'm going to share something with you in a second. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to do a share. Give me a second. Share screen. I've talked about this book in my video. I think some of my earlier videos I actually showed a copy of the book itself. I've got a hardbound copy of this book somewhere. It's called Our Final Hour, written by Britain, actually the United Kingdom's astronomer Royal, Dr. Sir Martin Rees. Sir Martin Rees. And Sir Martin Rees, actually in Britain they call it Our Final Century, but they, Americans just can't, get excited about our final century, so the publishers told them to make it Our Final Hour. So he talks about many things in this book that could undo our civilization. And when he wrote this, he determined that there was like a 50% chance that our civilization can make it the next 100 years. Well, actually, he wrote this book over 10 years ago, and a lot of stuff has happened. See, 2004. Okay, he wrote this book 2004, almost 20 years ago, 17 years ago. A lot has happened since this book came out, and I would have to say now that maybe Sir Martin Rees was optimistic. One of the things that he really talked about was the prospects for BioEra and BioTerra to undo our world. BioEra is where something gets accidentally released. BioTerra is where something gets released somewhat less than accidentally. Yeah, Sir Martin Rees. That may be where we're at today, my friends. We may already be dealing with those kind of ramifications. And if we're not already dealing with them, we may be very soon to come. And you think about the 3,000 labs I just mentioned. Oh yeah, over here is this little article in Express talking about this announcement, the Sky News of Australia. And we got here a lot of other people talking. This is, we got Hamish D. Brenton Gordon right here speaking. I don't know if I'll replay all this, but he's basically saying what I've already told you. Final hour. And like I said, I've harped on this myself in the past. Bing. I did this video called A Nuke in Every Pot. A nuke in every pot. Why? I was talking about the proliferation of technology in this video and how it could be so-called democratized. I mentioned this many times before. This video's only got 2,474 views. I got a lot less important videos that's got way more views than this. This talks about how technology proliferation can spread to the point that weapons of mass destruction technology can fall in the hands of groups, just about any group in the world. This is something I realized when I was developing hybrid rockets to launch high-altitude balloons, causing me to win awards like this thing back in 1990s. Yeah, so I would watch this video, consider it. Also consider why civilization is a lot more fragile than you may assume. Why I used a number 2 pencil. I read a story called I Pencil in this video, talking about the fragility of our civilization today. Why it's far more fragile than you can imagine. So that's why we have to pay attention to these risks that we face. This is why we have to do things to mitigate them. This is why we need to work together as a society as much as we can. But ultimately, these are reasons that you need to prepare for things getting worse. I always say hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Don't be scared, be prepared. It's a proposition, this channel, to keep, if you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And that's where we're still going. Survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. I haven't said it in a while, have I? But that is still there. That's what we're here for. So, yeah. See, I have a pretty somber face there. Oh, yeah, that old mic used to work back in those days. It don't work now. My system, unfortunately. So there we are, my friends. Every pot, a nuke. Imagine that. That's where we're virtually heading if we're not careful. Now that's the fat man right there. Yeah, my little rocket here must resemble that. So I used it as my own prop in my own little camp pot. Now that little pot belongs in my backpack. That is my backpack pot, my bug out pot for cooking on the go in the woods. But that really, it looks like a bomb, right? Actually, this is a kind of a retro rocket. See there, the logo ATK. That was, a came out of Thicol, which has even got little exhaust manifolds on it. 4 cylinders, 8 cylinders. Oh, this is a 16-cylinder engine and a rocket. Somebody was having a little artistic fun, but kind of resembles Fat Man. So it's a good prop for my little picture there. Okay, my friends, seriously, we are in a pickle today with proliferation of talents. That's why I said we have to learn how to get along. We have to find ways to do that. I believe we do not do that by empowering governments. You know, they tell us the solution to all this is a big one world order. No, that's a one world tyranny, which may be even worse. So I don't buy that. I don't buy that as a solution. I think that we really have to work to get along to the lowest levels. But in the meantime, you just got to be ready, because this biological stuff can be released. That is that nanotechnology, and there's many other things that could come on. Drone swarms. I couldn't think of the word drone the other night when I was talking about videos. I pulled my drone out and I showed it. I can't even think of the word drone. I had brain lock. Maybe the little nanoids got in my head and are eating my brains. All right, so seriously, that's what we got to watch out for. That's what you got to get ready for. Oh yeah, and one final parting note. One thing to end the video with is we need to consider, this is the anniversary of D-Day. I'm going to close in minutes of it. D-Day, June the 6th. We had a lot of troops that landed on Omaha Beach, and they made great sacrifice for freedom, for the world. You know, we had, we call that generation the greatest generation. They pulled themselves up from the Great Depression, fought wars in Europe and Japan, prevailed, and built a great nation on top of that. You know, we need to look to their leadership for rebuilding from where we're at today, and the malaise that we're in today. And it says that we can recover. They were in the Great Depression, and we got attacked from 2 sides of the world. Well, we got attacked from one side, it was allied to the other. We came above all that. And we built a thriving nation in the 50s and 60s and 70s. We accomplished amazing things, and we can do that again, but we have to have the resolve to do it. So bear that in mind. Got to have the resolve, but we got to survive and get through all these times too. But the best thing you can do personally is prepare, to prep, get ready for these things. And finally, I want to mention one thing. Mike Adams. Some of you may know him. He gets banned from almost every platform he's on. He has claimed he's got a plethora, just a whole bunch of multiple sources coming to him claiming that China is planning to attack America this year with cyber, kamikaze drones hitting our infrastructure, and maybe even a full-blown attack. He thinks this year. I think he's probably got some interesting sources. I think he's a good guy, often misinterpreted. I think also he's maybe a little reactionary. He may be overreactionary. That's what my hope is. I hope he's just being overreactionary. But, you know, do you want to bank on that? He might be right. Oh, no way, no way. Well, you know, you said no way about a lot of other things that have come to pass. Look at this, you know, year 2020, how that went. So I wouldn't just dismiss it all out of hand, not too fast. That's why you need to prep. I'm not saying what he says is right or wrong. I'm not passing judgment on. I'm just saying it's just one more indicator we need to prepare. I'm hoping he's wrong. In this case, I think if something like that's in the works, it's probably not this year or next year, but maybe not be too far down the road. His claims were they were advancing plans they already had. I don't know. But I would say this: get ready, be prepared. Don't be scared, be prepared. But again, you know, one thing we can do instead of democratizing hate and weapons of mass destruction, how about democratizing love? Light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. Shine your love light into the world. That may be the best hope we got for freedom and life. That and the power of prayer. It's not a religious channel. I don't make any claims to be righteous or of sainthood. I'm just saying I do believe in the power of prayer. Enough said. I did talk about the Universal Solar Cup in one of my videos. So bear that in mind, and I hope everybody has a great week. Take care.